Okay. White Morning is the one I actually want to go for. It's going to be a little, minus authority shouldn't be a big deal. The main reason is this one gives me a 20% zoom out distance. I'm trying to go for the perks that give me, like, not stat bonuses, because a lot of them just give me stat bonuses, and that's nice, but it's not really what I'm looking for. There's also a couple other ones that are kind of useful, but I don't know. This one lets me zoom out 20% more, which I don't think is really that helpful at this point, but it's still nice for, like, walking around and looking at things, and, like, getting a lay of the land. I'm gonna talk to these guys, and then we're gonna talk to the cryptozoologist and some other stuff.
The Copper NATO is back. What do you want?
Let's see, want to go over a few things again? Okay. I talked to Joyce. The merc you hanged, his friends are coming for you. Yeah? He doesn't seem worried. By friends, you mean his squad mates from Cornell. Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma. There's a snickering in the room. Some of the men put their beers down. Yeah, they're forming some kind of tribunal, and they're coming for you. This is what happens if you take the law into your own hands. Other people start doing it too. Let them come, Blondie yells across the cafeteria. The Hardy Boys are right effing here. You're the man, right here. He points to the ground. We're armed. We got the whole district behind us, and Glenn's effing crazy. Yeah, a well-oiled murder machine. He punches Blondie on the shoulder. Do you know that a single Sorae's giant hornet can kill 40 bees in a minute? That's supposed to mean. You're the bees, they're the hornet. We're not bees, we're men. We're socialists. Easy, he's trying to phase you. Turns to you. What are you trying to do, scare my men? The mercenaries are armed with automatic weapons. We got weapons of our own. He cracks open a vest and gives you a glimpse of his holster. We got Ister 50s, Ziegler's. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home. Will they pierce ceramic armor? Guess we're gonna see, aren't we? That was an unsure phrasing. See what? That they don't? Yeah, like you've been up against ceramic armor. He takes a sip of beer to bide his time, and then tries to get the last word in. You haven't even seen the whole suit, right? I've seen the whole effing thing, and didn't make him immortal. Cornell is bad news. You know that, right? Spray of beer. So were the local gangs, the effing Barmy Army and the Madre scum. You been out there, seen any around? Yeah. Where are they now, huh? Point south. Sent back to Madre in an airtight cargo crate. These people are trained military professionals with decades of combat experience. They're not a gang or a Barmy Army. No, they're not. They're uncoordinated and drunk. We know more about them than you think. Joe said they've gone rogue. No one's controlling them. Big effing surprise, he mutters. Now your psycho scum, arm them to the teeth and let them loose in the city. What do you think is going to happen? Alright. What do you mean, okay? He jerks forward a bit. Let's see. I mean, okay, they're going to wipe you out, Titus. Or... I don't really know. I mean, I'm trying to stop them, so... Okay, you got one more gun on your side. Or, no. They're gonna wipe you out, Titus. No, they won't. He shakes his beer at you. Get out of here with your negative energy. All he means is this situation is serious. No wonder you cops get shot to shit every day. Can't go to war with an attitude like that. Alright. Oh, new guy. Oh, we know this guy. Maybe? Oh. Smoker on the balcony. Hi, Gender Marie. Another rendezvous. There he is again. The smoker on the balcony. Right here in the whirling in rags. Hello. Hello, hello. What brings you here? What are you doing here? Admiring the atmosphere, he smiles. What about you, officer? Let's see. This is where I'm going to go down in history. I'm going to sing karaoke. Really? He straightens up, curious. Well, I look forward to that. He raises a glass to you. Tell me again about that muscular type who came to investigate the crime. Oh, yes, let's see. Knocked on my door a few days after the lynching. I think he was going through the entire building asking questions. What'd you tell him? Nothing. I didn't see anything. And he believed you? Why shouldn't he? Did you tell him about your friend? He takes another drag of his cigarette before knitting his brows. What friend? Your Sunday friend, the witness. No, I don't think it came up. What did he look like? Muscular, handsome. He shrugs nonchalantly. Strong, like one of those military types. Was he alone? Yes, but he was speaking to someone on his earpiece. His earpiece? Yes, you know those tiny speaker microphones that fancy security guards sometimes wear? What was he saying? Just reporting back what I was telling him. Besides muscular, did he have any other identifying traits? Well, let me think. He turns his eyes upward in recollection. He had an accent. Sounded like one of those mercenaries. He sounded vaguely Oranese. Oranese? Oranese. Or Oranese. Maybe. Because it's Oran... No. Clausia. Oranhe. Oranhes. Yeah. Closes his eyes. No. Not vaguely. Scratch that. He sounded definitely Oranhes. Thanks for the information. Sure. Anything else on your mind? His lazy eyes stroll over your face. Met your Sunday friend. You did. And a small smile adorns his face. And how did you like him? You're right. He was magical. Magically bureaucratic. I told you, he can be very useful. I guess that's the charm of powerful people. Why was he staying at your place in the middle of the night? He has keys, and he likes the view. He waves gently with his cigarette-holding hand. To the sea, I mean. Who is he? A visitor from the first world. He's not like you and me, Gendarmerie. Gendarme? I don't know. I don't know how that one's... I thought it was Gendarmerie, but that's lacking some extra stuff. I just thought I heard that. I don't know. Anyway, he smiles and his smile seems melancholic. He can always return. Return where? To his opportunities in Occident, Sur le Clef. Still, he breathes in and keeps his lung filled for a moment before letting out. His coming and going brings some life to the village. Or is it just money? I don't know. He stares at the bar. What are you? What are you, you two? Friends, I told you. Sunday friends. Friends who like to get together from time to time. What does that mean, a Sunday friend? He sighs. That he won't be there when times get tough, I guess. Is that even a friend? It is. On Sundays. He smiles. I don't want to talk about other people. I want to talk about you. What about me, Gendarme? What is it about the way that he carries himself? It's the sports. He's a sports guy. All about that physical prowess and athletic skill. Nothing else here. Gendarme? I don't know. Anyway. These are... Is that the same guy? I have no idea. I think that's a new guy, too.
Oh, sweetie. I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
I'm basically also a cryptozoologist now. I knew it. You hear Kim say quietly to himself. I'm not surprised it's already getting out of hand. Eight-eyed, terror-torn tie. Well, in that case, sweetie, let me give you a small token of my gratitude. She hands you a ribbon tie held together by a silver bird skull. It's a tie, Mexican origin. The pin is an antique, quite special to the cryptozoological community. Little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes. You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important. You never told me you'd seen the phasmid. Oh, well, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings. Ramblings? Nonsense! Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard. But, darling, I didn't even get the size of it right. Measuring things is important. How did she get the size? You were a child, my dear. Really, it's extraordinary that what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field. Reflexively, the lieutenant readies his familiar notebook. Well, it was summer, she starts. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When all of a sudden... Wait. Where was this, and how old were you? Ah, I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in Betancourt, in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there. What happened? The strangest moment of my life. I looked up, and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it. I didn't know this could happen. I reached my arm and touched the thing. It just felt like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying and towering above me. She looks at you. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left. Went into the reeds. Did you follow it? I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there, knee-deep in mud, looking around me. Where did you go? Don't go. Then what? I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if the reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. She chuckles. Of course, she just laughed at me. But I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties. Then when I wanted to impress boys, that sort of thing. She brushes her hair back. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morale. We were on a date, can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Elysium phasmid I'd ever heard. The sound... She told me it hissed. It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind. The way it moved, the color, how some of its limbs were white like marble. He breathes excitedly. It matched perfectly with what I knew from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession. He looks at her with admiration, forgetting a wide smile on his face. You're on a date? Our first, yes. The old woman looks at her husband tenderly. The glance is tender, yes, but tempered by something else, a thought she can't express to him. Interesting. Its limbs are white? Not all of them, he answers for it. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends. How big was it? It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed taller than I was then, but it's probably not the case. What if it is the case? Have you imagined it, Lena? How could she? Who imagines this? She didn't know about the phasmid. This is the main thing here. What makes it a confirmed sighting? She had no previous knowledge of the insect. She couldn't have made it up or imagined it. That's true, yes. I'm almost certain neither my mother nor my grandmother knew of it. It was only when I started telling my story as a teenager that boys would tell me, Lena. She lowers her voice, imitating a boy. You trying to tell us you saw the Elysium phasmid out in the reeds? Get out of here, she smiles. They just give me a cider and ruffle my hair and tell me to stop dreaming. But I saw it. And what do you think about all this? I thought it was a wonderful story, ma'am. He closes his notes and gives her a simple smile. But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day? Children make up stories and then end up believing them. Truth. Thank you for sharing this with me. You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it, whenever I get one. It was just... She sighs. Such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm. And she could get up and walk, right into the reeds on her own, into the mud, anywhere. I not noticed this about me, but actually, I've lost all memory of the world and myself, and I have no idea what I'm doing. She frowns, looking you over. Surely things can't be that bad. You get the sense she won't judge you, no matter what you say. Things aren't bad, they're catastrophic. You know where we are, right? We're in the Whirling Rags cafeteria. That's right. And where's the Whirling and Rags itself located? In Revachol? Yes, indeed. We're in the fine city of Revachol. Revachol is the disgraced capital of the world, something like that? Yes, great. See, we're getting somewhere. What else do you know about our city's splendor, tattered as she may be? All I know is that the Revachol used to be really cool in the 30s. The new disco dancing. It seems like a lifetime ago. Her eyes are filled with light reflected off those gilded years, when the city seemed full of possibility. Much has changed, but it's still the most beautiful city in the world, a rare jewel set in the sand between the pines. Everyone says so, even foreigners. There's a pause. And then she studies your expression. You must look quite lost. Speaking of history, you know what year it is, right? This is spring of 51. That's right, dear. How splendid. Here, take this pen. Knowledge should always be rewarded. Her relief is palpable. She's getting pretty worried about you there. But now she relaxes her shoulders. I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government? Let's see. All of these are insane. Some kind of democracy, maybe? Nope, sadly not. Revachol is what's called a special administrative region, under an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have no government of our own, and what democracy we have is, she thinks, market-driven, meaning buying is voting. I don't even know what to say. I'm so disappointed. It is quite disappointing, yes. A lot of people like some form of representation. There's talk, but for now the RCM is all we've got. There's no government. How come there are cops? Oh dear, she shakes her head, suddenly very worried. And you were doing so well. There really aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the revolution. But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone. She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged. So, how did I do? You were doing quite well up until the end there. It does look like you're having trouble remembering things, history and places. Remembering reality, in a word. It's very odd. A sigh, the lieutenant buries his nose in his notebook. But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. And while I'm no doctor, such bouts of amnesia are often temporary. So I wouldn't worry too much. He means this sincerely. Worrying won't do you any good. Who can tell me more? Someone more educated in sweeping matters. Maybe you should ask. She turns to the lieutenant. No, he looks away. I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a police officer. New task, get a reality lowdown. Of course, she turns to you. Then I don't know. Someone rich, maybe. Wealthy people are educated. I don't know if you would find a wealthy person in Martinez. But thank you, sweetie. You did make me forget about my worries for a while. She smiles up at you, but concern is creeping back into her expression. Suggestion. Cool cryptids. There's really no point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her work. Go on and ask. Hey, Lena, I'd like to hear about some of the cryptids you've studied. Could you tell me about a couple of them? Oh, I'd be delighted. Truth be told, I could really use the company, too. Lieutenant throws you one of his looks. One cryptid, not a couple. One. This won't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza. Okay, Kim, just one little cryptid, promise. He nods and assumes a waiting posture. Cryptids, cryptids. Let's hear about all the interesting cryptids. Ooh, tough choice. Is this bird a cryptid? Point to the tie she gave you. No. Her eyes narrow mysteriously. It is the cryptid. Wow, the cryptid. Oh, yes. The small silvery skull shines between your fingers, its beak sharp. Okay, what is this bird? The eight-eyed Teratorn, the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a wingspan of 11.5 meters. It was thought to have gone extinct 3,500 years ago. Some even doubted the fossils were real. A mutation, they said, until... Mutation, the man scoffs. All of evolution is a mutation. Until? Until it was cited by renowned Gottwilding explorer and naturalist Uwe Plattenkalk in 21. This renown seems a bit dubious, but your own catalog comes up entirely empty. But of course, you aren't all knowing. I need to hear about this sighting. It happened on a botanical expedition into the vast and unexplored Uamrau Canyon in southeast Ilmara. Dr. Plattenkalk got separated from his group during a sandstorm. Okay, and Umrau is... the world's largest canyon system, sweetie. It's a barren waste east of the Urg Desert. An ancient riverbed completely dried up. What happened? Alone in the blasted desert heat, the doctor wandered eastward, where man hasn't stepped foot in over 1,000 years, since the fall of Perkinassus. He was lost, without any navigation equipment, and desperately low on water. After a day or two, he noticed a bird high in the noon sky, a blackbird. It seemed gargantuan. Every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal carcass somewhere in the horizon. By the time Uwe got there, the Teratorn had taken off already, and the carcass was picked clean. This happened many times. He followed it? Yes, or rather, hunting. A bird that big has a lot of blood in it, and he was dying of thirst. For many days, Dr. Plattenkalk followed the Teratorn until they reached a great canyon wall where the bird finally landed to rest. The professor climbed up there with a rock in hand. He found the giant bird sleeping with its head tucked under its wing, a great black pile of feathers on the perch. So he approached, slowly squeezing the rock in his fist. Watch out! Then the Territorn suddenly looked at him. He could see it had 8 eyes, 4 on either side of its skull, like a spider. Men couldn't move. He was paralyzed, frozen in place with the rock in his hand. Whatever he did, he could not get closer to the bird. Why? The bird was controlling his mind. It kept him from approaching. He could step back, but every time he stepped forward, paralysis. So he spent 3 days trying, until the bird flew away. Hold on, how did he survive to tell the tale? The 8-eyed Territorn was indifferent to him, as long as he didn't get closer than 2 steps. It even let him feed on some carcasses up there, and 2 unfertilized eggs it left behind. An 8-eyed mind-controlling bird. F yeah. Absolutely, sweetie. She smiles, glad you agree. Cryptozoologists have been tracking it ever since. But Uamrao is vast, mysterious, and holds many secrets. Modern radar telemetry shows great promise. We will confirm this one. By the end of the decade, latest. This one, I liked. The lieutenant puts down his notes. Not only does it have 8 eyes, and is a living fossil, and the largest bird ever to see, it also does mind control. He's sincere. He likes the audacity of it. So is that the last anyone saw of it? Sadly, yes. But there are numerous reports of 8-eyed bird skulls from Illamara. And then there is the striking resemblance to the Percanassian imperial eagle, an ancient heraldic symbol. They're hard to pass off as coincidence. The imperial eagle, too, had 8 eyes. Not really, it's just a stylization. The way they drew eyes, it's not a zoological drawing. Very, very hard. This one is famous. Everyone knows it. People will be looking at the tie on you and thinking, this man's into cryptids, she winks. So, what else do you want to know? See, this has been educational. Sadly, we need to discuss something else. Of course, dear. Okay, I'll ask her more later.
I couldn't possibly shower thanks on you as enthusiastically as my wife has, but I am grateful for your assistance, officer.
Let's see. He tries to play it cool, remain professional, but inside the man is itching for news on those traps. So I checked all the traps. Good, okay, and? One of them was empty. Completely empty. The cryptozoologist's eyes go wide. Yes, there was nothing in the trap. No locust, no phasmid. No locust, but no phasmid either. That's not ideal, but... He rubs his chin. The empty trap was the one at your campsite. Maybe this factors into it somehow. I definitely left that one stocked. Right from the campsite. The old woman's face lights up. It just means the insulating phasmid's even more clever than we thought. She's engaging in a well-known self-deception called motivated reasoning. You should correct them. Of course, the detective whispers to himself. More clever. Yes, the Phasmodia picked off the locusts and escaped. This is good news. Though we'll have to reconsider the design of the traps. Make them more secure. His companion sighs. Another trip to the reeds. It's not very scientific to reason backward from the conclusion you want to be true. I appreciate your concern, officer, but please, leave this to the experts. Unless you have an alternative hypothesis you'd like to venture. You're jabbing at the soft underbelly of his psyche. He realizes he's gotten defensive. Actually, no. His tone chases. Excuse me for getting emotional. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now. And brought some great news, too. My gratitude, and all the gratitude of the Society Cryptozoologique de Revicol is yours. Heartfelt gratitude. But does it feel like closure? What really happened? Thank you. It's an honor. He says with a straight face, then turns to you. We should probably return to our main investigation here. This has been refreshing, but helping cryptozoologists isn't really a priority for our organization, is it? Lieutenant looks out the window impatiently. Damn it, Lieutenant, have you no intellectual curiosity? Develop an alternate theory about the missing locusts. Consider the way the empty trap was disturbed, as though shaken. Most likely the hands of a young person, hands small enough to fit inside the trap, too. You should ask the red-headed boy, Kuno. I think a little hooligan called Kuno may have stolen the locusts. Little hooligan, but what would a child want with the bugs? A shadow of worry passes over the woman's face. Oh, my dear Morel, you've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment insects, almost as much as they love to torment old folks. I'll talk to the little gremlin and see if anything comes up. Delinquents, my favorite. It doesn't sound like it's really his favorite. Oh, you've been such a dear to us. Let us know whatever you turn up. I have a feeling we're getting so close. The man turns to his compatriots. Well, I see you've got all the help you need. I'll see you tonight at my place. Let's play suzerainty, but no more field trips for me. This is your last chance to talk to Gary. Really, Gary? The woman's voice is a little shaky suddenly. We're getting somewhere here. I'd love to play suzerainty, but... Lena, I'm sorry, but you're not getting anywhere. It was just some kids. I know the little mutants around here. Leave anything out in the open and they'll steal it, even if it's bugs. He looks at his tea. Well, it's been fun, really. But I need a bath, and I have deliveries to handle. When this tea is done, I gotta run. No need to apologize, Gary. You've been more than helpful. We'll have to take a rain check on that game of suzerainty today, though. We're gonna follow through. Okay. Let's save. I'm gonna talk to these characters, but we've got more. Wow, it's already 2 in the afternoon. Time flies when you're talking to people.
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law. Yellow man. I mean, officer.
You were surprised to see my colleague, Kitsuragi. Not many seal lights here, or anywhere other than seal. I meant no offense, truly. You have a problem with seal lights? No problem at all. He flashes an impenetrable smile at Kim. The lieutenant's a native of Revershul. Oh, yes, of course he is. I was just speaking about his connections. He flashes an impenetrable smile. Let's change the subject. Yes, what? Nope. Not touching that.
Again, I can't believe this shit.
Cool shades. Are you wearing a disguise? Yes, it's a hobby of mine. He looks at you inquisitively. As if waiting for some kind of reaction or a response. Something to click. It's not happening, though. Who is this guy? I don't remember you from anywhere. God effing shit. He pinches his nose, the root of his nose. None of this is great news for him. Okay. Hypothetical 41. Include. Okay, why not? It's the whole thing again. Why not? We're not wasting time. There is no time. The person who we think shot him, who made it look like he was hanged, that's who we're looking for. We can't find her. Oh, where have you looked for her? We think she might be on the coast. West of here. Tough luck. Place is ruined from the bombardment. Lots of places to hide there. Well, yeah. Hey, why am I telling you these things? I don't know. Why are you? Gives you an odd look. It's like you felt it would be intellectually stimulating and would lead somewhere. Custom even. Strange. Yeah, so ex-partner.
Yes? What is it?
Look, something's really bugging me. Are we or are we not from the same police station? God damn it, you leave her alone. The man with the sunglasses snaps at you. Keep your weird bullshit to yourself and be professional for once, for F's sake. Can I actually help you with something? She looks at you apologetically. Are you with him? Oh, yes, of course, preposterous. I mean, you would remember if they were, right? Who forgets squad mates? That's not possible. Of course I'm with him. Why do you ask? Seems like a cool guy. Well, he's not, the man interjects, his voice stern. He's a sack of shit barely kept together by crazy glue, but at least he tries, unlike you. Please. She looks at you, then him, then you again. Let's not turn this into another exchange, okay? You're the police, right? Cool, so am I. She looks around. I don't know what to say. Don't say anything, Judith. What are you, the police, doing here? I'm just looking out for... you? No one! The man looks at her. Just a man with sunglasses, and you are... a policewoman. Yes, her voice is quiet. A policewoman who just wants to do her job, that's all, she says quietly and looks away. Something about the man with sunglasses and you. The energy between you two is making her uncomfortable. We had an argument. Like, the ex leaving us is a problem, but I almost want to say this guy feels responsible. Or...
Again, I can't believe...
partly caused this. Okay, so what tasks do we have? Because I feel like this is getting bigger. Get a reality lowdown. Let's see. Okay, so we can work on that one. Let's see. We found Idiot Doom Spiral's jacket. Still working on that. Foam pants from Kuno, but I'm just a bit poor. So Cindy the Skull. Look for Ruby on the coast. Okay, Billy Michon's apartment. Deliver the bad news. Okay, apartment number 20. We could do that. But actually, you know what? I'm going to properly save. I think it's time.
Hey, was there something you needed?
Gart, I need to sing karaoke now. No, you don't. He tries not to look at you. It's dangerous to acknowledge the karaoke man. This is my way of apologizing for the trouble I've caused. Please, let me say I'm sorry. By causing more trouble, I think we're good. Yeah, but Johnny Law is about to tear it up sad style. The whirling doesn't need more sad style. That's one of the styles I can do without right now. Why do you even have a PA system if no one's going to use it? It's for the... He begins confidently, but stumbles on his own words. It's for no one. It's a prop. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of 44. What happened in 44? A lot of people got killed because some asshole wanted to sing karaoke. When was the last time you had a band play here? It's not for bands, it's for clients. Some clients, okay? Not you. I'm a real client. I've paid my bills, and I have the right to use the karaoke machine. Ha! Well, he comes up with a counter-argument. We don't have any tapes. They all got stolen. It's alright, I have my own song with me. Give him the tape for the smallest church in St. Sands. The man in the vest and the violet shirt stares at the tape you've just given him. He begins to frown hard. Fine, fine. Climb up on that stage and do your thing. Just get out of my hair. He shakes the tape at you. I'll plug it in for you. Damn this karaoke machine. Oh yeah. Time to do the damage. Wait, hold on. Hold on. If I'm doing karaoke, I need to look the part. For starters, get rid of this junk. Then what do we want? Oversized superstar? Yeah. Suit jacket? No. That? Hell yeah. Bow tie? No. If I'm doing karaoke, I'm doing either that tie... No, definitely... What about this one? No. Definitely this one. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do better than this. I need more undershirts. That's better. Let's put on disco pants. Let's lose the hat. This is about as close as I'm going to get to proper disco. We'll lose the gloves for the time being. I don't know if this is good, but if I'm going to be singing, I better look good for it. The stage is all set up for your performance. Feels silent. You can hear the pellets creak under your feet. You feel a little dizzy, a little unsteady, and suddenly... Okay. So you're ready for your thing now. Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke console. Look around the room first. There's some people out there, but mostly a post-meridian slumber has fallen on the premise. Not super lively. It would be wiser to perform in the evening, no? The choice is yours. Okay, and it looks like drama. So I'm going to need a lot more drama if I want to do that. Well, in that case, let's just jam everything back on. Okay, let's see. Where's my Good shoes. The fallen shoes were pretty good. So, yeah, gotta max out drama. I'm gonna want to do this right. I think this is more or less what I had on. Slight changes. Okay, I've only got $11. Gotta work on that a little bit. Okay, so let's go turn in a very sad quest. But yeah, come back in the evening. Easy enough. I can work with that. I guess let's go talk to Kuno, too. I'm putting this off a little bit. It's not my favorite.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
You wouldn't happen to know anything about any missing locusts? No, Kuno doesn't give an F about bugs. So he knows locusts are bugs. Oh my god, the little one seems distraught. I told you that shit's lame. Shut up, see? Now they're gonna take you to lame prison. She sounds like she's about to cry out of disappointment at Kuno's newfound lameness. Now, hold on, no one's lame here. Just tell me what happened. Deny everything, Kuno. You need a lawyer up. Kuno's not gonna say anything without his lawyer present. Lame. That rings some bells. Could this be connected to the Night City, aka City of Rage? Is this about Rage City? Oh, God, Kuno, no! The little one behind the fence takes her hat off. It's gonna happen now. They're gonna make you lame. Stop it, see. No one's gonna make anyone lame. Kuno's got this under control. There's definitely something going on here. You should check out Kuno's shack, the one with the pig's head. Let's talk about your shack again. I don't have enough. Okay, let's go check out Kuno's shack. It's crawling with locusts in here. All around you, the hisses and chirps of locusts fill the musky air. The earthen floor of the shack has been shaped into mounds of mud dotted with little holes for windows. Like skyscrapers, spires of dirt and sand are rising, accommodations for the insectoid inhabitants. Well, Detective, it appears you've solved the case. The lieutenant looks around, writes something in his notebook, and turns to you. Of the locusts, for the missing locust case, which is a subcase of the imaginary insect case, so at least that's going well. Stop being so sarcastic, Kim. Oh, I'm not being sarcastic at all. We're making real progress here. When someone says they're not being sarcastic, it's usually a good sign they're being very sarcastic. Think the Encyclopedian Phasmid's nearby? If anything, the presence of the locust points to the opposite. The Phasmid did not take the bait from the traps. It was Kuno. The Phasmid doesn't exist. What do I know? Use your powers of deduction. You knew the magic bug was nowhere near here. The Phasmid is just impairing your judgment. We should talk to Kuno about this. Get him to stop. I'll let you handle the Kuno side of things. You're doing just fine. Night City and or Rage City is just his bug collection. I like how almost painfully mundane all of this is. And almost like dreadfully desperate. It's all these people trying to find meaning in nothing. And I think that's really cool.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
I know you took the locusts from the traps the cryptozoologist set up. Yeah, he says slowly, meeting your gaze with Sutherland defiance. Took the bugs, so what? So it wasn't the Phasmid. A wave of disappointment washes over you. I really was hoping it would be the Reed Phasmid that ate the locust, not you, Kuno. Yeah, well, Kuno's all you got, bitch. I don't know. Anyway. You say you don't give an F about bugs, but then you go and build a whole bug town. It's not Bugtown, it's the city of locusts, he says, enunciating every syllable. Locusts aren't just bug shit. They come out of the sky like an effing shadow. Shit descends. Stop! She wails from behind the fence, then buries her face in her hands. Locusts coming down like a shadow. This must be the Night City he's mentioned when you asked him where he's been. So, that, in there, is Night City. Yeah, Locust City. City of Rage, City of Lights. There's a tug of war for the name of his fantastical city. It's almost too big for his imagination. The girl forces herself to watch again, the corners of her eyes twitching from discomfort. City of Rage sounds like a cool place. Kuno, the pig wants to help you, she moans. That's how lame it is. Please don't say you're... An artist? He pushes his chest out. Maybe I am an artist. You hear that, everyone? I'm an effing artist now. Did you just say I? Kuno usually calls Kuno Kuno. Making art is a worthy calling. I'm something of an artist myself. Oh my god, Kuno! He's gonna make you totally lame in like 3 seconds! Don't let him, Kuno! F-U-C, Kuno can be what Kuno wants to be. Kuno's his own man. Kuno's free. He tears at the buttons of his shirt, trying to rip them open. They don't give way. Kuno made himself into Kuno. Kuno can make himself into anything. Kuno can make himself into a pig if he wants. Kuno can make himself into a... Sure. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Don't make yourself into a pig, Kuno. You'll have to take me away. A leaden silence fills the yard. Me and Kuno have discussed this. I promised I won't do that. I don't believe you. She disappears entirely behind the fence. For once the boy is lost for words. He's turned completely red now, with splotches of white beginning to appear across his face. Use the momentary confusion to take control of this situation. You got him. Now convince him to leave the cryptozoologist's traps alone. I need you to stop taking the locusts from the traps. The cryptozoologists are trying to find something very important. The locusts are bait. I don't give a shit. I don't need the locusts anyway. Shit's all lame now. He turns to the fence. He was right. The girl's face appears above the fence, just long enough to make eye contact with Kuno. She doesn't know whether to be glad because Kuno is finally convinced of the lameness, or more worried because of his continued use of the first-person singular. Kuno is Kuno, not I. I had to ask, what does the city of locusts mean? It doesn't mean anything. It's shit. Kuno just likes to focus. Kuno likes to concentrate on shit. Build shit when he's zipping hard. He turns his face up to the heavens. Pig, he finally says, lowering his gaze to meet with yours. You really shouldn't have effed with Kuno's city. Now it's all effing lame. What's gonna happen to the locusts? Kuno's gonna let the effing locusts die. Okay, now that that's settled, I better be off. The F are you trying to catch anyway, with the traps? The Insulidian Phasmid. Huh, he mutters to himself. He recognizes the name. Wait, you know what the Insulidian Phasmid is? You don't think Kuno doesn't know shit, he says angrily. The F out of here, Kuno's tired of this shit. There's a silence between the two children. They're not saying anything to each other, nor looking at in each other's direction.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
Maybe I should talk to Kuno S at some point. I really wish there was a shortcut between these two. Also, I can't seem to travel around that fast. Interesting. One way or another, I mean, we're making progress on that. It's weird. Like, I hate the kid, but I feel for him. He's a kid that's trying, like, again, the weird, sad desperation. You know, he's trying to make something of himself, even if it's just a bug town. I guess let's go talk to Cindy the Skull first. Assuming she's there. Okay, she is. Next, we gotta find number 20, which I thought is the Night Smoker's apartment, but might just be the apartment complex.
Give me a moment.
I'm looking for Billy Majan. Do you know where she lives? He knows her pale gray eyes. It's about Victor, isn't it? It's always about Victor with her. You'll find Majan in apartment 20 upstairs. It's one of the doors on the balcony. And I'm off. So, Victor Majan. And then we should go out and talk to Sydney the Skull. See what she wants for the gloves. Would there be anything I'm missing? Like Sabatons? I thought that came up too.